Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the inner sanctum.
Don-MacLaughlin and mandel-Kramer in the spy program Counterspy. This episode, the fictionalized version of our FBI, was originally broadcast on April 11th, 1950, the case of the Mile High Murders.
Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I. That's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy, calling Washington.
United States Counterspies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, the case of the Mile High Murders. A thrilling Counterspy report to the American people. And now to Counterspy.
M5 Havana calling Easy George Able Nan. M5 Havana calling Easy George Able Nan.
This is Easy George, Able Man. Come in, M5. Come in.
Important emergency instructions. Repeat, emergency. Am sending boat out to rendezvous point 17, William Richard, which you will pass over in a few minutes. At point 17, William Richard, you will bail out of plane.
M5, what about the merchandise?
Disregard merchandise.
Now, look, M5, I can't do a thing like that. After all, the cargo.
Cargo must be sacrificed to preserve safety of all concerned.
But maybe we can work it out another way. I don't want to have anything to do with...
This is in order. And final. Switch to automatic pilot for gradual dive and bail out. Did you hear me, Easy George?
Switching to automatic pilot for gradual dive.
That's better.
We'll bail out, M5. This is Easy George, Able Man, signing off. Quiet down. Quiet down. I've got bad news for you. I can't smuggle you into the States. Now, you do just as I say, or I'll have to use this gun. All 8 of you, move back in the ship. Back toward the tail. That's it, right there. Now, stay right there until I pull this lever. Parachuting out the bomb bay.
Please, have mercy.
Sorry, honest, but I can't help you.
We do not have to be afraid to die, my friends. But if we were as wicked as these men, we should be afraid to live.
I said I was sorry. That's all I can say.
He jumped out of the plane. We will be killed. We will all die.
We must pray, please pray. Ave Maria, gratia plena. Dominus tecum, benedictus tuum.
Gregor, can't you keep those birds of yours quiet? especially that stinking vulture.
Since your return to Cuba from your aborted mission, you've not been yourself, Egan.
Those birds screeching that way make me think of those poor refugees in the plane, pleading for their lives. Rosa,
See you, Senor Egan.
give me another drink.
See you, Senor.
And hurry up, you fat sow. Egan is anxious to drown his conscience in my best wine.
It's easy for you to talk, Gregor, sitting here in your patio and listening to your crazy birds. You didn't have to dump 8 helpless people into the ocean. Sure, you can sleep at night.
Here is your drink, Senor Egan.
Thanks, Rosa.
Egan, in our business, sometimes drastic steps are necessary for self-preservation.
Talk is cheap. You didn't see their faces.
Perhaps, but I see the logic in disposing of them. If you had landed at the field in Florida with that shipment of aliens, you would have been picked up by the police. Would you have preferred that? Of course you would.
All right. But how did the police know about the trip?
Someone dropped a hint to them. Tell him, Ross.
At El Montero Cafe, I was told the flight was spotty.
Was anything said about me, Rosa?
No, senor.
By the way, Egan.
Yes?
Rosa also heard something else at the Montero Cafe. Something about you. Rosa.
I heard, Senor Egan, that when you had delivered some of Senor Gregor's clients safely to the United States, you took money from them. Blackmail money.
That's a rotten lie.
Of course, it's only a rumor.
I don't care what it is. It's still a lie.
It had better be, Egan. For your sake.
You can't frighten me, Gregor, because I've got nothing to hide. I've always been on the up and up with you.
Very well, Egan. Now let's get back to business. We will continue our weekly passenger run from Cuba to Florida.
How can we? The cops are onto us.
We will no longer use a large plane. Temporarily, we will reduce our activities by using the small 5-passenger plane. And from now on, you will not land at our isolated field in Florida. Instead, we will avail ourselves of desolate stretches of beach along the coast.
Nothing's going to stand in the way of your making a fortune. Not even my neck, huh, Gregor?
Nothing, Egan. And least of all, your neck.
Operator, this is Captain Kincaid of the Miami Office Immigration Service. I want to put in a person-to-person call to Mr. David Harding, Chief of the Counterspys in Washington.
Hello, Captain Kincaid. This is Harding.
Oh, Mr. Harding. On that matter we discussed last week when I was in Washington, an emergency has arisen. We'd appreciate having Counterspy cooperation in this case now.
Anything at all, Captain.
Can you assign one of your Miami agents?
Better than that, Captain. I'm going to give this case my personal supervision. My assistant, Harry Peters, and I will leave immediately for Miami by jet plane. Go ahead, Captain Kincaid.
Well, Mr. Harding, this is the obsolete light army bomber I had flown over here to the Miami City airport to illustrate my theory.
Peters and I are very anxious to hear it. Please continue.
Now, this is the way I reconstruct the story. A surplus army bomber, identical with this one, left from an improvised runway outside Havana, Cuba, last Friday with 8 aliens aboard. That we're fairly sure of through a contact in Havana.
But the plane never landed here in the States.
No, Mr. Peters. We had it under spotter observation in the Caribbean and suddenly lost it. And it didn't return to its Cuban base either.
What about the aliens?
Just getting to that, Mr. Harding. All right, Bob. Mr. Harding, my theory is the bomb bay doors were opened like that, and the aliens were forced to jump to their deaths in the Caribbean, thousands of feet below. Mass murder.
Chief, this is about the lowest crime we've ever come across. The absolute lowest. Well, Kincaid, I suppose the smugglers must have been tipped off that their plane was spotted and warned the pilot, maybe by radio, huh?
I figure it the same way, Mr. Harding.
It could be, Chief, that the pilot bailed out and was picked up while the aliens went down with the plane. That's possible, Peters. That would account for the disappearance of the plane. Anyway, let's get started.
Havana, our next stop, Chief?
Havana next, Peters. With the cooperation of the Cuban police, we're starting on this alien smuggling racket by smuggling ourselves into Havana by speedboat.
something very interesting for you.
What is it, Rosa?
A letter, senor, from people in the United States to people here in Havana. What I told you about Senor Egan is no longer a rumor.
There's the pier ahead, Mr. Harding. Let's see with these glasses.
Oh, thank you, Peter. Yeah, that looks isolated enough for our purposes.
Good idea, Dave, taking the speedboat instead of a plane. The smugglers probably have their eyes on every airfield in Cuba.
Yes, there's no doubt about that, Peter. They have a terrific investment to protect. We know there are thousands of aliens in Cuba, poor devils waiting for the chance to get into the United States. Those who can't get in under the legal quota are willing to pay their last cent to be smuggled in.
Nice game. Traffic in human misery. Dave, have you lined out a modus operandi for us?
Yes. Now, once we're smuggled in, we'll try to get ourselves smuggled out again.
Smuggled out? Dave, they'll know that we're not aliens.
They'll never catch on to you, Peter.
Uh-oh. Here I go again, huh?
You're still my star actor, Peter.
Okay, let's have it.
Well, by the time we get to Havana, you're going to look and talk like an alien. An alien willing to pay any price to get refuge in the United States.
Good afternoon, Senor Gregor.
The letter, Rosa.
See, the letter. You're anxious to see it, no?
Where is it?
Senor Gregor, you are a man of business. Rosa is a woman of business. She is not beautiful. She is not young and thin. So there is nothing left in life for poor Rosa. But money.
Rosa, you've always reminded me of my pet vulture here. The most disgusting of creatures.
You pay me a compliment, Senor Gregor. He is a cunning bird also, eh, senor?
All right. How much for the letter?
$200.
The longer I know you, the more repulsive you become.
And the more valuable, eh, senor? $200, please.
Here.
Right. Here it is.
Yeah. The pilot made us give him our last dollars when we landed in the United States. We had to do it because if we didn't, he said he would report us to the American government.
You are being cheated, Senor Gregor.
You stupid sow. You think only the money worries me? Letters like this cause trouble. Talk gets around. Egan has put my entire business in grave danger.
My knife, senor. For $100, I could use it well.
I don't need you for this. Do not worry, Rosa. When the time comes, I will put an end to Egan personally. You see this dish of raw meat? Come with me over to the pool and you will understand quite clearly.
The pool?
My fish pond.
But you do not feed fish beef like this?
Rosa, my fish, you do feed beef like this. Those creatures you see swimming in my pond are piranha fish, a very unusual species from Brazil. Watch what happens when I throw the beef into the water. Now watch.
Like wolves, they make attack.
They say, Rosa, that a small school of piranha fish can strip a human body of flesh in 4 minutes. An amusing thought, eh, Rosa?
Very amusing.
Observe. The fish seem to be still hungry. See them skimming the surface? Perhaps they should have bigger baits. Huh? What do you think, Rosa? Huh?
April 11th, 1950, Counterspy on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, April 11th, 1950, Counterspy.
Now back to Counterspy.
Beg your pardon, sir.
Yeah?
Please, a light for my pipe.
Light? Oh, certainly. Here you are.
All clear, Mr. Harding?
All clear, Peters. No one in this section of the park. We can talk right here. How did you make out as Mr. Kovac?
Passed my first test with flying colors, Dave. I registered at the hotel patronized by refugees. I managed to make friends pretty quickly.
Any leads?
One of my new friends advised me that I might get what I wanted if I paid a visit to El Montero Cafe.
El Montero Cafe, huh?
A small native barroom on Del Caro Street. The place is run by a fat, middle-aged woman named Rosa. My friend also said that a visit to Rosa is the first step in making entry into the States.
Rosa must be the contact between the aliens and the smugglers.
Looks that way, Dave.
All right, Peters, or rather, Mr. Kovac, I guess it's time for you to visit this Rosa at El Montero Cafe. See how you make out in your second test.
And what do you want with me, Senor Kovac?
I have come to you for help, Rosa.
Help?
I wish passage to the United States.
To get to the United States, Senor Kovac, one has only to obtain passage on plane or boat. Why come to me?
I was told by friends that you could advise me of the steps necessary to get into the United States without detection by the authorities.
Senor, such a means of entry is dangerous, illegal, and they say expensive.
I have $25,000.
25,000. It would be a shame that a gentleman so anxious as you should not get what he wishes. Where are you staying in Cuba, Senor Kovac?
The Hotel Paloma.
Be in your hotel room at 10 tomorrow morning. An American named Egan will call on you and explain the arrangements.
Oh, thank you, Rosa. Thank you. You have no idea how much this means to me.
Then you passed your second test with flying colors, too, huh, Peters?
I guess I did, Dave. And your idea of mentioning $25,000 didn't do any harm. Did you manage to get a line on Egan after I called you earlier?
According to the Cuban police, Egan runs a small passenger plane service between Havana and Miami.
Mm-hmm. Probably a cover-up for smuggling activities. Anyway, Chief, we'll be able to put an end to Egan's business tomorrow morning.
Oh, Peters, I'm not just interested in Egan and Rosa. It's obvious we can pick them up any time. No, there's somebody else, somebody who's masterminding this operation.
I guess you're right, Dave, but how to get to him?
Well, I'd say that's up to you, and how well you do on your third test, Mr. Kovac.
Yes?
Senor Gregor, this is Rosa.
What is it, Rosa?
I have been looking all over for Egan. He is nowhere to be found.
Egan is here with me, waiting for me out in the patio. I was just about to introduce him to my amusing piranha fish.
But you will need Egan to fly the plane.
I've made arrangements for another pilot. He will be here next week.
But I have for you a client who wishes a trip to the United States now.
The client will wait, Rosa.
But he is willing to pay $25,000.
Oh? Well, Rosa, that is a different matter. It is fortunate you did not call me a few minutes late.
I made arrangements with the client for Egan to be at his hotel tomorrow morning at 10.
Very well, Rosa. Egan will be there. I will apologize to my piranha fish for the postponement.
There will be no postponement, Mr. Egan.
Don't you worry about that, Kovac. You show up tonight in the back room at El Montero Cafe with the $25,000. And by this time tomorrow, you'll be safe and snug in the USA.
United States of America. I can hardly wait. Mr. Egan, I'm so grateful to you for... excuse me, please. Hello?
Senor Kovac, this is Rosa. Is Senor Egan there?
Oh, yes, he is. Senor Egan, it is Rosa. She wishes to speak with you.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, Rosa?
There is trouble. Do not betray yourself with words or looks.
Sure, Rosa. Go ahead.
From April 11th, 1950, Counterspy on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We'll hear the conclusion of the program following these important messages from your favorite radio station. Just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Mike Lindell and MyPillow launching the MyPillow 2.0. Now, when Mike invented MyPillow, it had everything you could want in a pillow. Now, nearly 20 years later, he's discovered a new technology that makes MyPillow even better. Of course, the patented adjustable fill of the original MyPillow, but now with brand new fabric with a temperature-regulating thread, it's the softest, smoothest, and coolest pillow you'll ever own. Say goodbye to tossing and turning and flipping your pillow over in the middle of the night. And more great news on the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer with my promo code Wyatt. MyPillow 2.0 is 100% made in the USA, 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square to receive the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer. Use my promo code Wyatt or call 1-800-928-4715. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of Counterspy in the case of the Mile High murders, originally broadcast on April 11th, 1950.
A friend was just here in El Montero and told me about Senor Kovac. This morning at the hotel, there he saw the man who visited Kovac. The visitor was David Harding of the United States Counterspys.
What? Thanks for telling me, Rosa. Thanks very much.
You seem troubled, Mr. Egan. Did Rosa have bad news?
Not exactly, Kovac. Coming like it did now, in a way, it was good news.
Then everything will go as we arranged it.
Well, there'll be just one change.
My arm! The more you try to get out of this grip, the more it's going to hurt. I do not understand. Why are you doing this to me?
I'll explain just as soon as I get this gun out of your shoulder holster. All right, now. Get back. Up against that wall.
What is the meaning of this?
You can drop the act. Rosa phoned to tell me about some information she got on your visitor here this morning. Harding of the Counterspys. What do you got to say for yourself now?
Just one thing, Egan. If you're smart, you'll drop that gun and give yourself up.
You think I'm crazy, Kovac?
Just to set you straight, the name is Peters.
A Counterspy, too.
That's right, Egan.
So you want me to give myself over to you, that it?
It might go easier on you. If you do get away now, Egan, I'll get you anyway. I'll hound you till I get you.
That's where you're wrong, Peters. Your hounding days are over. I'm getting out of here. But you're not.
You fool, Egan. Murdering a counterspy, you stupid, idiotic fool.
What did you expect me to do, Gregor? Let him take me in?
This will ruin everything.
So I'll lay low where they won't find me.
Don't you realize now the counterspies will find you wherever you go? They won't rest until you're captured.
I thought you were so smart, Gregor. I thought you had a way of handling everything.
Of course. There is a way of handling this. Now that you're here, I have nothing to worry about.
What? What's the idea of that gun?
The idea, Egan, is self-preservation. If you were ever captured, you would blurt out my part in the smuggling business.
No, Gregor. You can trust me.
I had intended to rid myself of you last night. You were saved by the fat, disgusting swine, Rosa. Now I'll take up where I left off.
Gregor, please. Wait. Don't you...
I'm not going to shoot, Egan.
Huh?
I'm just taking you to the edge of the pool over there. Then I'll leave it to my piranha fish to destroy all evidence of your being. Now, Egan, you will commence walking through the...
Buenos dias, Senor Egan.
Rosa, you threw that knife into Gregor.
Si.
But why? You were on his side.
Perhaps you do not understand how a woman feels to be talked to the way Senor Gregor always talk to me. I am not so young, nor am I so beautiful. I am not so fat, so disgusting as he said. I have been waiting for such an opportunity as this to answer Senor Gregor.
Hey, he's still alive.
See, I meant it so. I aimed my knife so that he should not die so easily, so painless.
I'll get a gun and finish him off.
Wait! Do not fire that gun.
But I have
to planned for him the death he planned for you. We will feed him to his cannibal fish, Senor Egan.
In the pond? Now, look, Rosa, I can't...
I have saved your life. You will do as I wish, no?
Okay. Guess I owe it to you.
You can drag him across the patio by the feet.
Yeah.
Even a woman such as I has feelings. He should not have talked to me that way.
Stop where you are. What? Don't move. Keep him covered, Peters. Got him, Mr. Harding.
Peters?
Senor Kovac, you're alive.
Sorry to disappoint you two.
Can't be. I fired 2 shots into you.
Those were blanks in Peter's gun, Egan. They were in there waiting for you to use them.
Senor Egan, it is a trick.
That's right, Rosa. There was a member of the Cuban secret police who informed you that I'd visited Kovac's room. We wanted you to tip off Egan so he would lead us to the head smuggler.
And here we are, thanks to those blanks.
Okay, but the slugs in this gun aren't blanks.
Drop that gun, Egan. You don't have a chance.
I got nothing to lose by making a try.
Stop, Egan.
All right, Peters, let him have it.
Peters, that ends it.
Yes, Chief. Nobody can live with those piranha fish.
You can call the Cuban police now. Tell them to come out for Rosa and Gregor. Then we'll fly back home.
Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station, to Counterspy. Listen on Thursday for the exciting Case of the Hoodlum's Hero on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York, was directed by Leonard L. Bass, dramatized by Edward Adamson, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel-Kramer, with music by Jesse Crawford. This is Jay Jackson speaking. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some delicious Pepsi tonight.
April 11th, 1950, Counterspy on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we follow the problems of the disappearing money at Lum and Abner's Circus. This episode of Lum and Abner made possible by our friend Ted at RadioMemories.com, cassette CD or flash drive on your computer. This episode was originally broadcast almost 90 years ago, April 11th, 1935.
Here we are, all ready to take you down for another visit with Lum and Abner. Brought to you by the makers of Horlicks, the original malted milk. And now, let's see what's happening down in the little town of Mount Ida, where the Lum and Abner Circus is now showing. Well, Lum and Abner are still unable to solve the mysterious disappearance of the receipts from their circus. For 2 days straight now, the money has been stolen out of the safe in the wagon that they use as an office. Suspicion has been placed on almost everyone connected with the show, but as yet no definite clue has been found. Yesterday, Lum decided to hide the receipts for the day in the trunk instead of the safe, and he and Abner planned to take turnabout sitting up to watch it during the night. As we look in on the circus grounds today, we find Lum in the office, apparently very excited about something. Abner is just entering the wagon. Listen.
What is it, Lum? What's the matter? What's the matter?
We've been robbed again, Abner. We've been robbed.
Huh?
I just now opened the trunk to get that money out to take it to the bank, and it's gone.
You mean that we taken in yesterday?
Yes, sir. That money I put in the trunk last night's gone.
Well, I'll swan to goodness.
Well, whoever got it must have broke in here while we was over at Greenwood this morning.
Well, the wagon and the trunk both was locked up while we was over there, Lum.
Yeah, but whoever got it must have had a key to the trunk, for the lock ain't broke or nothing. Looky there.
Well...
The trunk was locked and everything, but the money's gone.
Well, they must have had a key to the wagon, too, then, Lum, for it was locked up while we was gone.
Now, Granny, that's right.
Nobody ain't stole your keys from you, have they?
Why, no. If I hadn't had the keys, I couldn't have got back in here.
No. I dog it, this is getting to be serious, ain't it?
Getting to be. It was already serious. I don't know what this is. My Granny, something's got to be did about it.
Well, what can we do?
Well, I'm going to find out who's been taking that money if I have to burn the woods and sift the ashes. That's over $800 that's been stole from us this week.
Yeah, every dime we've took in.
What's worrying me now is how we're going to pay the performers and buy feed for the animals.
Well, maybe we can take in enough between now and the end of the week to take care of that, Mom.
Well, it don't do us no good to take it in. Somebody steals it as fast as we get it.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the police out here. That's what I'm going to do.
Well, the only trouble, old Lum, if you get the police out here and everybody'll know it, and then whoever's been stealing it will be hard to catch then, sure enough.
Yeah, that's right. My grannies, we'll just set a trap for 'em ourselves, Abner.
Set a trap for 'em?
Yes, sir. We'll just put the money in the safe again tonight for bait and catch 'em ourselves.
And then set the traps around in front of the safe, huh?
Yeah, huh? No, set traps in front of the safe.
Well, that's the best place to put 'em. If they'll open the safe, why, they got to get around there in front of it, Lum.
Well, we ain't going to set no traps for 'em, Abner.
You just said we was.
I ain't talking about steel traps, though.
I'll tell you the kind of a trap we could set, Lum. The line trainer was telling me the other night how they catch them lines there in Africa.
Well, there ain't no line breaking in here and taking that money. I can tell you that right now.
Well, no, but you could catch a human the same way. All you got to do, Lum, is you just dig a great big hole in the ground right out there in front of the wagon, and then cover it all over with brush and hay and stuff. And then when they step on it, why, they fall down in the hole and they can't get out.
Oh, for goodness sake. That ain't the kind of trap I'm talking about, Abner.
Well, he said that's the best kind. You got to put some fresh meat out in the middle of it, though, so when they start after the meat, why, they'll fall through the cavern over the hole, you know.
Well, what would a robber want with fresh meat?
Well, I don't know, but he said that's what they use there in Africa.
Well, that's 'cause they're trying to catch wild animals. Whoever it is we're trying to catch is after money.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we can just put the money out there then, use that for bait.
Well, we ain't going to dig no hole in the ground now. You just well get that idea out of your head right now. What I mean by setting a trap, we can put the money in the safe and then set up and watch. See who comes to get it.
Well, they ain't going to come in there and me and you sitting there in a wagon. You know that.
Well, we'll hide. Get outside there in the dark summers.
Yeah, but how you going to catch 'em if you ain't got no trap there?
Well, if we see somebody trying to open the safe, we can run in here and throw a gun on 'em and march 'em right down and turn 'em over to the police.
Yeah, but what if he gets away, though, before we can get there and get him, and then he's got all our money?
Well, you need to worry none about that. He's too fat to run very fast anyway.
Who's too fat?
Huh? Oh, well, I don't mind to tell you, Abner, I believe Squire Skimp is the one that's getting that money.
Oh, no, I don't believe it's him, Lum.
I might not know he done it.
Well, he said that you're the one that's been taking it.
Me?
Yes,
he told you that?
Yes, sir, that's what he said yesterday.
Well, he told me the same thing about you yesterday, too.
Huh?
Tried his best to make me believe you done it.
Well, that ornery, low-down, good-for-nothing. He told me the reasons that he knowed it was you, Lum, because that he heard that you was going to buy Zenora a big diamond engagement ring.
Why, that snaky news.
That's what he said, and said you was taking the money.
See there, he's just trying to lay the blame on everybody else. He's accused you and me and Zenora and her brother and Cedric and everybody else, except himself.
Wait a minute, Lum. There's somebody coming around the wagon there.
Huh?
Who is it? What do you want? Oh, what is it, Cedric?
Guess who just now drove up out there in front just now?
Who?
Mr. Huddleston and his wife and Ethel.
Well, fine.
Well, whereabouts is he at, Cedric? Reckon what he doing over here?
He's around there talking to Squire now. The women folks went on in to watch him feed the animals.
Well, I'll swan to goodness. Well, I just can't hardly wait to see him.
No.
Yeah, find out how Elizabeth and Pearl's getting along.
Here's Mr. Dick and Squire coming now. Here, they're both of them in here, Mr. Dick, right in here.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Cedric. Well, you're kind of dressed up since you joined the circus, haven't you, Cedric?
Yes, Mom. This is a brand new suit I got. Just bought it today.
Well, I'll swan to goodness, Dick Huddleston.
Well, yeah.
How in the world are you?
Come in here and sit down, Dick. I'm sure proud to see you.
Well, you fellas been? I'm glad to see you, sure.
Now, what in the world are you doing way over here, Dick?
Well, I just thought I better ought to come over here and check up on you fellers, see if you behaving yourself all right.
Yeah. Well, we're doing the best we know how.
No. Me and the wife and Ethel, we drove into the county seat today and got through in there with our business early and just decided to come on by here on our way home and see how you fellas getting along.
Well, fine. I'm sure proud you did. How's Fine Ridge, Dick?
Oh, just about the same, Lum. There's nothing new to know of.
Nothing new, huh?
How's little Pearl and Elizabeth?
Why, just fine, Abner. I saw 'em yesterday. They was in the store there to get the mail. If I'd known I was coming over here today, I could have brought 'em along with us, too. Had plenty of room.
Well, I sure wish you had 'em. I would love to see 'em. But I don't reckon Elizabeth could leave the place right here at planting time.
Now, sit down, Dick. Sit down. Make yourself comfortable.
Well, if you gentlemen will excuse me, I expect I better get on around there in front, you know, and sort of look after things. I'll see you before you get away, though, Dick. Yeah, sure, Squire. I won't be leaving for a while yet. Abner, I wonder if I could speak to you for a few minutes.
Me? Yeah, sure. I'll be back in a minute, Dick.
All right, Abner.
Well, sir, how's Evelina? Have you saw her since I've been gone?
Why, yeah, I've seen her a time or two, Lum. Her and Frank Forster seems to be keeping company pretty steady now.
Well, I'll swan to goodness, that snake in the weeds, Frank Forster. A minute I turned my back on her. I knowed it.
Say, Lum, what's this the Squire's been telling me about you fellas having some money stolen over here?
Oh, he's done told you about it, huh?
Yeah, he was telling me, said that 2 days straight there, that somebody broke in your office here and stole what you'd taken in the day before.
Well, not only that, but they stole what we took in last night, too.
Last night?
Yeah, over $800 has been stole this week.
$800?
Yes, sir, and if you want my IDs on it, Squire Skimp's the very one that's been a-getting it, too.
Squire, huh?
Yeah. I'd have him arrested so quick it'd make his head swim, but there's just one thing I can't get out of my mind.
What's that, Lum?
Well, that is why, if he was going to steal it, why he didn't do it when he was running the circus by himself and had charge of the money by himself. Me and Abner wasn't with him then, and wouldn't be no trouble at all for him.
No. Well, now, here, Lum, maybe he was stealing it from you then.
Huh?
I say maybe he was. While he was running the circus for you, while the show was losing money all the time, yeah. I know you had to go in there and at the bank and borrow money to keep it open. But here now, since you and Abner joined up with it, why, you've been making money. That don't sound right to me, Lum.
You mean you say... Granny, that's right. That's the reason he wasn't taking in enough to pay expenses over at the county seat.
Well, of course, I don't know anything about it, Lum. But that's just my opinion on it, you know. But I do know Squire Skimp. I've known him for years around Pine Ridge here. And I know there's nothing too crooked for him to do.
Yeah, I've been studying about some of the stunts he's pulled on us. The time he bought the store off us and just same as beat us out of it, you know.
Well, Lum, for the last 2 years, Squire Skimp has been beating you and Abner on every deal that you got in with him.
Yeah, that oil well business. I ain't forgot that neither.
Well, he'll do anything. There's nothing too low down for him to do. I just hated to see him get in this circus with you. I told you that.
Well, I don't know, Dick. He come over there and talked so honest about it, I just thought he'd go straight once.
Oh,
that blame his hide. Talking to me the way he did yesterday and then turning right around and stealing it again this morning.
This morning?
Yeah, me and Abner took turn about setting up last night watching it, so it was bound to have been stole this morning. And when we went over there to Greenwood's, about when it happened, too. See, we're opening up over there tomorrow.
Oh, you are opening up over Greenwood?
Yeah.
And you left the money here in the wagon this morning, huh?
Yeah, for about 3 or 4 hours. Locked right here in this wagon, too.
Well, has Squire got a key to the wagon, Lum?
Why, sure he has. He's the only one that's got a key besides me and Abner.
Well, Lum, you and Abner had no business, both of you, leaving that money here that way in that wagon.
I know it, but Squire come in here this morning in a big hurry and wanted me and Abner to get in the car with him and run over to Greenwood and put up some winter cards. Wait a minute. Granny, hold on here. That money was stole while we was over there this morning, and Squire went with us.
So Lum and Abner and Squire were all three out of town when the money was stolen. The next time you're in your neighborhood drugstore, look for the name Horlick on the malted milk dispenser at the fountain. If you see it, you can be sure that the store has a high standard of quality. You can be sure that that druggist stands for quality and believes in giving his customers the best. For when he serves Horlicks at the fountain, you know that he is spending a few cents more to give you the purest of ingredients, to give you all the richness, the flavor, the good nourishment of Horlicks, which he knows to be so much superior to any imitations. Now, this matter of quality in your drugstore is mighty important to your health and to the health of your family. So be sure and watch for the Horlick name at the fountain. If your druggist doesn't serve it, ask him to get Horlicks, the original malted milk. This is Carlton Brickert, speaking for Lum and Abner and Horlicks, who now bid you all good night and good health.
Thanks to Ted at RadioMemories.com. Check him out for cassette, CD, or flash drive programs for your computer. April 11th, 1935, Lum and Abner on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank this station, support their advertisers, their kindness and courtesy allows us to be with you each and every time you roll around on your favorite station. Miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. All of our shows are available at classicradio.stream, classicradio.stream. Stream our shows 21 hours a week are what we do. You can also find our social media links. You can learn about building a collection of your own, and you can also buy me a coffee. That Buy Me a Coffee money helps us acquire additional classic radio collections and also maintains our distribution channels. Classicradio.stream. Thank this station, support their advertisers, tell all your friends the greatest radio shows of all time are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.